So hey there, today's video will encourage you. I'm getting personal, I'm getting honest today, and I'm a little bit scared about that because this is all about my not so perfect, jacked up self. It's about 5 ugly things about me and how I deal with them. It's about you not giving up and strategies to deal. You're just not gonna wanna miss this one. So hey there, beautiful people. This is Lindy Ford, registered dietitian, clinical and licensed nutritionist and nutrition detective. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, today is the day. Today is the day to subscribe and hit that bell up there, because what it will tell you is when a new video comes out, and we are posting and posting and posting this year, and everything will benefit you and your family. Also, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter and Facebook. Look me up, Lindy Ford Nutrition and Wellness, and I counsel people all over the United States. I mean, you can't imagine where all of these people are coming from, but it is my honor and I love doing that. So these are 5 ugly things about me, and hopefully by the end of this video you will get encouraged and you may be inspired. But the very first thing is, I grew up in a very loving but very unhealthy home. My parents were very good people, but they made horrible, terrible lifestyle choices. They had no idea how to eat healthy. And we did a lot of fast food, and I just remember salads around our house were like this iceberg lettuce with some anemic looking tomatoes and a little bit of French dressing, and that was a salad. And so we didn't have the good, whole, real foods. We just had a lot of processed foods. My parents really lived to eat. My mom was always on a diet. And I can just remember my dad, it was a recovering alcoholic, but he replaced Pepsi she replaced alcohol with Pepsi. So that didn't do him any good with his blood sugar. I know it was good that he's not an alcoholic anymore, but it didn't do him any good with his blood sugar issues. He had chronic heart disease. And my mom was she was plagued with depression and weight issues and all kinds of health problems. And even though they were good-hearted people, it finally took its toll. They died 3 months apart from each other at 51 and 52 years old. And I only had like a 5-week-old baby when my dad died, and he died of heart disease and my mom died of cancer. So how do I overcome that? Many of you have come from very unhealthy backgrounds. How did I overcome that? Well, I can tell you, even during all of this chaos, I started educating myself. I educated myself on my own, and I actually went to school, and that's when I started studying nutrition and dietetics. Now, this was back in the 90s, in the Neanderthal age, right? Where they were still trying to get us to believe the low-fat dogma. But even though some of the science wasn't right, I still learned a lot, and I started to make changes in myself. So that's something you could do, is just educate yourself on nutrition and wellness and how to take care of your body. Number 2 was, at one time, I'm really not proud to say this at all, but at one time I was 65 pounds over the weight that I am now. And I have that insulin metabolism. I've talked about that before. I can look at a strand of spaghetti and gain weight from it. That is what we who have these problems with blood sugar, what happens to us, because our insulin levels go way too high. So I've always struggled and always will struggle with my weight. So how do I overcome that? Just by everything on this channel that I'm trying to teach you, I do it. I really do all of these things. I do the supplements, I do the low carb eating, I do whole foods, real foods, not processed foods, nutrient dense, and it has worked wonders. Right now, I am actually at my healthy weight for my height. It will always be work dear people. It will always, always be work for me. And I always have to be aware of what I'm doing, but I am never obsessed. I don't want you to be obsessed with food. I want you to enjoy food, but I want you to be aware. A lot of times I had a patient in my office today and she said, I was just eating things this week and I wasn't aware of what I'm eating. And now she's becoming more aware. And that is one of the keys. So number 3 is I am a foodie. I like gourmet, exotic foods. It probably contributed to my weight gain. And I can eat a lot. Even when I was young and very thin, I could eat people under the table. My dad used to have bets with people on how much I could eat because I've never been a little dainty girl. I'm 5'10" and a half. I've never been tiny and I've never been a little eater. And how I overcame that, and I'm still working on it, guys, because I can still, not like I used to, but I can still eat a lot of food. I just become more mindful. I become more mindful of what I'm eating. I slow down and I savor the food, and I have really trained myself to stop when I'm full and not overly full and not stuffed. So I've trained myself to do that, and it has worked so, so well for me. So number 4 is I am a carboholic. So that kind of goes along with my weight issues and all the issues that I've had throughout the years. Never met one that I didn't love. It used to be where I could run over an old lady nun to get to a cookie. I mean, that was how bad it was. I was so, so addicted. And it's a true addiction. And how I overcame it is just consistently doing what I'm asking you to do. I have been consistently doing this for many, many years, and it has paid off greatly. My A1C, which is a diabetic marker right now, is like a 5.1, and that is unheard of for Miss Diabetic, ready to happen right here. So I also don't trust my willpower. I always try to be prepared. I don't allow myself to get overly hungry. I eat a lot of good fats, which helps me to feel satiated. So fat is one of the keys. And I also do like a really easy intermittent fasting. I'll link that link below on how I do that. It's really easy on how I don't do like long periods, but I do a little tiny bit of intermittent fasting, which helps me to get control. I also, whenever I travel, or even go out of the house, I normally have food. So number 5 is that I have been through a debilitating health crisis. And many of you, I know, have been through this, or been not through exactly what I went through, but through a terrible health crisis. This happened when I was fairly young. It's like 2009. But I was suffering from Lyme disease. I was also suffering from undiagnosed thyroid disease, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, as well as a significant hormone imbalance. And I had no idea what was happening to me. Up until that time, I'd had my ups and downs, but I was pretty healthy and feeling pretty good. My energy tanked. I had horrible depression and anxiety and panic attacks that I had never had before. Didn't know what was going on with me. I could barely get out of bed in the morning. And really, how did I overcome it? To be honest with you, first and foremost was divine intervention. I really believe that God intervened in my life to show me where to go to get help with Lyme disease, to a specialized doctor near Washington, D.C., and really smart, functional medical people who could kind of unravel some of this. Some of the endocrinologists couldn't, because they never even ran the correct tests. But we had a family friend who's a doctor in an urgent care facility that actually diagnosed my thyroid issues because he ran one more test. So I just really believe that God had his hand on me. And what the takeaway from this is, oh, and by the way, I have the best health right now that I have ever enjoyed. Even when I was younger, I have the best health that I have ever enjoyed in my whole life. I really feel the best and have the best energy. I guess the takeaway for this is just don't accept it, guys. Don't accept poor health. Don't accept just that you're going to be on all kinds of prescription medications for the rest of your life. Don't accept any of this, because for most of the times, 9 times out of 10, there is an answer if you don't give up. And if you keep really, I was like scratching my way out of this, and the little strength that I had, I was researching. So I was calling all over the country, trying to get answers from functional people, and I was digging, and that's what I want to tell you is don't give up. There is an answer. Keep digging, watching these kind of videos, and ask God for wisdom, because He will give you wisdom. I hated what I was going through, but guess what? Now, today, I am so glad of what I had to go through, because it's made me a better practitioner. It's made me wiser. It's helped me to understand my body as well as other people's bodies so much more. So there are more ugly things about me, but I think I'm going to stop right there, because I think you have probably had enough. But I just wanted to make this video for you. I want to tell you not to give up. I want to tell you also, don't make excuses. Don't use your family as an excuse. Don't use your past as an excuse. This is hard. Getting yourself out of bad health and bad habits and bad lifestyle choices is not going to be easy, but be courageous. Fight, research, and then break free. And just remember, if I can do it, so can you. So thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. And remember that everyone, you deserve the freedom to live your best life. Thank you.